Hey heroes, welcome in. We are your hosts for hire. I am Kyle Cage. This is Lucas Morand. Today we're getting into Brave New World. We just went and saw it. Very exciting. Before we get into that, so you don't ruin it for yourself, consider this your spoiler
Spoiler
warning.
warning.
Make sure you head over, watch that movie before you come back and watch this one. Uh, but I would also recommend honestly watching Incredible Hulk or Falcon and
Yes.
Winter Soldier if you want to enhance the
Yeah.
experience. Not
Incredible
really
Hulk,
necessary.
especially.
Yeah, not necessary, but it does feel more like a sequel to Incredible Hulk than Captain America,
Yeah. Very
um,
much so.
which is interesting. But before we get into any of that, head over to Hosts for Hire podcast at Hosts4Hire with the number 4 podcast. Trying to get to that 10K on YouTube. Help
Please.
push us there. We would appreciate it. So, what first off the bat, I want to know what you didn't like about this movie.
I'll tell you, you know what, bro? I'll tell you the main thing that I didn't like about this movie, dude. It was before going into it, seeing that it got a 51% on Rotten Tomatoes. And then coming out of that movie as entertained as I was. Dude, like, to me at this point, what more, like, what do we want? What do we want? Like, who is making these reviews? I just can't really understand it, man. Like
I don't either. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was entertained the entirety of the time.
to me, there hasn't been this level of dope ass fight choreography since Winter Soldier.
Same. They very much gave me Winter Soldier
Like,
vibes
which
from
is like known as one of the best Marvel movies, and then like
yeah.
to do this with this, like it's so frustrating to me,
And
dude.
like there are some valid gripes, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
I
Like
have plenty that we're about to like that we're gonna get into, but
yeah,
like to me, it sits like this. Rotten Tomatoes has glazed so many bad movies because, like, we know it's just a business, just the money in the right spot, blah 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 blah. Martin Scorsese puts out just like a thoughtless nothing, which he hasn't, but like, let's say he would, and they would grade that shit a 99.9%. You know what I mean? Like, we know that this stuff isn't necessarily like very objective, and then like
the barriers for entry are different.
to me, it sits like this: like the whole narrative going into this movie has been black Captain America, you know, and how like there's horrible racists that just like don't want to see this, that there's people who don't understand the comics that think it's like some woke liberal choice making Sam Captain America, right? When they like don't understand that that's an exact pathway that happens in the comics.
And there's people who argue like, well, Bucky became it first. Like, we're talking about an alternate. Where the MCU has taken many liberties, and you were fine
Yeah,
with them. Now you're not.
you know, and it's just like there's been all these horrible racist undertones preluding this movie, and like Rotten Tomatoes had like, to me, like as like a person, had an opportunity to like shine a light on this movie rather than like in the midst of all this controversy, rather than being like bam, just like another MCU like bust, you know, when the audience scores near 80%.
Yeah, like
That
clearly the people who saw it, like the actual audience, is always the one I trust more than
like
the tomato
so
meter,
that
the popcorn
yeah,
meter is
dude.
the
So like
one
I
that
can't
actually
understand who are
says.
the people in charge, and that stuff. Like we got to move on from this because like it charges me up, and I'm just
I
like
know,
getting
yeah.
heated about it, and we're gonna go too long on it. But like, yeah, dude, it really bothers me. Like I said, to me, they had an opportunity to shine a light on a movie that was trying to do this like really objectively awesome thing,
Yeah.
and instead they chose not to. And it's like, dude,
Yeah,
like
and like there were
fuck you
things that
guys, man.
that that were worthy of griping about. Like
Yes,
for instance,
let's get
how
into that.
not comic accurate Sidewinder and the Serpent Society was. That might be my
It's
biggest
my number
overall
one gripe.
gripe.
My
With
number
the
one
like
negative.
actual gripe with the movie was the fact that like they used the name and it was in name only.
There
They
was
didn't do a
no
single
part of the Serpent Society
that was
in this
serpent
movie.
themed. There was
There was
no
like
there was
not
no
one.
serpent theming to any character that was a
Not
part
even
of it.
just like tagging their character colors on them. Like they just looked like another military unit. If you told me that
Having
that was
having
like instead of the
scaly
serpent,
armor. Something as simple as that would have been better than literally nothing at all.
bro, like to me, if you would have just plucked out the Serpent Society and put in just like what were they called in Falcon and Winter Soldier? Those
The
like freedom
Flag
fighters, the
Smashers.
Flag Smashers. If you would have just put like a rogue like Flag Smasher unit that was still out there, everything would
Nothing.
still make sense.
Yeah.
Nothing would change in the script, into anything. And that to me is just dumb. Why use the characters?
Like the
What are we
only
doing?
the only thing that it allows them to do here is to keep bringing him back because
And you
it's
know what's actually also kind of frustrating to me is this is a point I haven't seen made at all by anyone. In like the circles that I watch, in like the stupid circles, in just like anything. I haven't heard this point be made. And I'm like, it's the one like genuine gripe that we could have right now. Like, God, it's so like you guys, Kyle and I have been thinking of a segment that we want to do, and it's called just like we haven't thought of a name yet, but what the idea is that we just do like genuine, honest reviews, and we try to be as objective as possible because objectivity is really hard when you're a fan, and it's specifically in the comic book movie world. It's just very hard to be objective, and like to try to avoid things like this, where like genuinely entertaining, good movies that are trying to do something get review bombed, and then it makes it seem like the movie is bad because we're like the box office isn't doing well. When
Mhm.
we're not thinking of things like society's struggling right now, so people aren't going to movies. People don't have the capacity to go out and pay $20 per ticket for a movie right now. So like that affects the box office. Are we taking that into consideration, or are we only just putting a movie out there and then being like, well,
Well, and
you
like
know?
marketing has a big thing to do with it. Like the trailer and what they revealed in the trailer ruined like some of what could have been the best aspects of this movie were completely ruined and null and void. I know you'll rant and rave about this, but the fact that they showed Red Hulk's first transformation and it was obviously his first transformation made every potential almost transformation throughout the movie that they did because I think they did it twice before he actually transformed. No one who had seen the trailer was worried he was going to
Surprise.
transform
No.
because we knew he wasn't. Like
We
like
knew
in the
that.
submarine when he was about to transform and didn't and kept it in, everyone knew he was going to somehow keep from transforming.
During the movie, you know I hate trailers, and I
Mhm.
complain about trailers to you, and I complained about this trailer to you,
Mhm.
because of these things. And then like in the movie, the whole path of the movie, the like chronological order that the movie takes, the reveal of the Red Hulk is what matters throughout the whole thing. Like we start with him taking the pills, like right away. It's one of the first scenes of the movie, if not the first scene. If I'm
With
not mistaken.
it, I'm pretty sure it shows him
Um,
immediately with the pills.
and then like like it actually builds really really well. They actually do a really good job. If we didn't know, like, and comic book fans obviously we would know because we know
Mhm.
Ross becomes Red Hulk. But there's a lot of people that like that tension would have worked on, that they were building really well, like when he pounds the granite, and it like
Mhm.
breaks. Or like you pointed out to me, when he's sweating, whenever he gets frustrated,
Yeah.
he starts to sweat
And
like he's getting
his
like too
face
hot.
gets super red, yeah.
Super cool detail, super good
Mhm.
like build up detail. But everyone, not just comic book fans, saw that he was transforming the Red Hulk at the White House. So all of that was just like mutt.
Yeah.
I
The
can't
the
believe that
the the
there's people that make
marketing
so
is
much
dumb.
money that aren't thinking about that stuff, man. That
Mhm.
frustrates me to like no end. Because you're right, it felt a little lackluster where it wouldn't have,
Yeah.
but it did.
One of the other things that I didn't like was like speaking of like lackluster was like the ramifications of a celestial being existing.
Kind of agree with that.
I did like and thought it was cool that like it showed how humanity would fight over this new
I agree
resource.
with that. And I
How
also
ruin.
like that they kind of like twisted the origins of adamantium. Like it's kind of like
Mhm.
the celestial body is what it's made out of. And they are seemingly also making it like better than vibranium, which is
Yeah,
very interesting. And
stronger,
I'm sure
more
it's going to piss a
versatile.
lot of people off. But like, that's something that like I don't mind too much.
Again, because they're
It's an
changing the
interesting take.
nature of it, because
Yeah.
it's part of a celestial being, it's literally like the body of a
The-
celestial
yeah.
being. Of it should be stronger than an
Yeah.
earthly,
It should be more
you
versatile.
know?
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's a very interesting take on it that I definitely don't hate.
yeah,
Um,
definitely. But I do hate that they didn't use that to at least mention the weapons
I
program
knew you were gonna
once.
say that, boy. I knew you were
Once,
gonna say it.
all
So
I
Kyle and I
wanted.
talked to each other before we saw the movie about like our expectations, and
Hmm.
that was like probably, if not number one, like number two on our expectation list, that we
Mhm.
wanted to see the weapons program be like mentioned, just like that it's like started, that it's like
Mhm.
that they're gonna use this like adamantium to further it. Something would have been just so juicy.
Even just a small after credits scene that has something to do with them announcing like we're gonna restart Project Rebirth, which was
Ah,
Captain America, the first
yeah,
weapon,
because
like
the
or
first weapon,
yeah, or
that would have
something
been
like
so
that.
good. This was a Captain America movie.
Yeah.
Kyle.
But instead, we got the leader telling us information we already know in the after credit scene. That's one of my
Oh,
other gripes was how useless and boring the after credit scene was. I sat there. One of the reviews I read today was that don't sit. Literally, all it said was "don't sit through the credits."
I
'Cause
agree with that. We got no new information. Leader was like, Secret Wars is coming, and we're all
it's
in the stands like, we know.
leader, because they never
Yeah, they never
actually
call
call
him that.
him leader, which is a
Yeah,
little annoying as
yeah.
well.
And actually, that
But
brings me to my very last gripe because like all we've been talking about right now is the negatives because we want to like in the beginning we are talking about how this movie got unfairly review bound, but that doesn't mean that there's not negatives to it. And we want to
yeah,
like be objective. This is like the point, like we want to be as objective as possible. So like to me, the last negative that I think I can think of right now was the leader's look. Really
mm,
didn't like that. Not
mhm.
gonna lie. I think they like went for something like different and new, and like it it was flat as fuck to me. I didn't like it at all.
Other nerds in the theater audibly groaned when they revealed him. Like audibly groaned. I did as I like I it didn't escape me, but there were
I
three
wanted
people
the long
behind me that
head.
mhm.
Like I I kind of get what they were going for. Like your brain grows, it like swells against like your skin, so like it kind of looks like your brain's on the outside of your skin. But like, man, it just didn't hit right.
I just think that over the last, 17 years, he could have adapted and his head could have adapted to his brain, and he
Yeah,
could have looked more comic accurate. That's
yeah.
the two of the biggest gripes being the lack of comic accuracy in Sidewinder and Leader was a big miss in
Yeah,
mine.
to me they were going for like a realism that just like sometimes man in these comic book movies like I understand the desire and like the coolness that sometimes realism brings, but like sometimes it hits flat, and like this was one of those cases where like it would have looked so much better with the
True.
long head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Um,
And a little greener also.
there were times where he was like pale, really, really pale green,
Really
and sometimes where he looked like Hulk green. I don't know
Yeah, I
why it
really
like
would have liked
changed.
him to be just like a little more of a like that like dense green.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You
rather
know?
than like his skin, like it looked like his skin had like pigmentation of green rather than like
Yeah.
he was green, you
Again,
know?
like they went real realism with it, and I'm just like, bro,
Yeah,
sometimes that just doesn't look good, man.
yeah.
Like, and tell us
But
if you guys agree with that in the comments.
yeah, let
Uh,
us know what your negatives are, what your gripes with the movie
yes,
are. Let
because
us know
again,
what your what you liked about it too.
this is what we need to
Personally,
do.
yeah,
We need to hold the negatives accountable, but then also we need to glaze the positives. And bro, there were so many cool moments in this. The first thing I said to my stepbrother, because I went and watched it with him when we walked out of the theaters, was this had more badass bare knuckle fighting in it than every Batman movie we've gotten combined. It was my first thought out
hmm
of the movie. I don't know why, but and it's true, dude.
yeah.
Like there was so much badassery in this. The way Sam was fighting was so cool, man.
The way he still had like Falcon tactics because he has the wings and
Yes,
like the way he was it blended Falcon and Captain America's fighting styles
that
really well.
that dogfight at the Celestial like body where
Oh
it's him and the new Falcon Joaquin against those four fighter planes, dude. That was so cool.
yeah, the just the way that he tucked it when he had to turn around and he tucked the wings in and barrel rolled and flipped and then just took off at full
Yo,
speed. So sick, so smooth, so fluid. In that
audibly was like, oh,
yeah,
at that part. I was like,
in that same scene with the with Red Wing grabbing the shield so he can focus and
dude,
on
the
attacking
turret
instead of
shield,
defense.
bro.
Yeah,
That
dude, the
is
drone
so
shield.
sick.
Come on,
So creative. That's the type of shit.
genius.
Like,
Yeah,
I, as a comic book fan, dude, like, how can that not excite you?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, those are the things that I can't understand. Like when he's training with Isaiah,
Oh,
dude, and Isaiah's just slammed, dude. Bro was going for the kill. Like
yeah.
he was
Any
going
one of
for
those would
the
have
dude.
incapacitated him, and the one that hit him did incapacitate. He's
He's
like,
like, man, you
oh,
best not get hit by this, because if you get hit by this, you're fucked.
you
He's
ain't
like,
gonna have no
Captain
knees.
America will get hit by this. Dude, when he
Yeah, that
kicks
was
that
great.
at him, like when he kicks it and like Sam flip, dude, if that would have hit Sam, it would have thrown him through the building. Like,
It's like a 500-pound punching bag or whatever.
which again is the capacity of Sam. They showed that so cool, dude. Like what it takes, what he has dedicated to becoming Captain America.
Yeah,
What we saw
without
in that,
what it takes to be Cap without the serum.
yeah. Well, like again, to me, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, one of my favorite Marvel TV shows that they came out with.
Mm-hmm.
That montage where he's training, to me, what we saw in this movie is that never stopped. Like his commitment to the level of training, like when he flips and kicks that shield, bro, off the walls,
and then catches it on when he kicks it up, kicks the shield, catches it on his arm, takes out 3 dudes. Unbelievable.
How to me can you tell me that wasn't on the tier of Winter Soldier, Captain America, Winter Soldier?
Seriously.
Like
speaking of Winter Soldier, that was an expectation, a very low one I had.
Very low expectations, bro. I was so stoked.
When I heard his voice, I was like, yes!
Same, dude.
Yes!
Oh, their relationship, I love it so much, dude. When they hug and he like, oh, I love everything about Sebastian Stan's Bucky, dude.
He is one of those great castings. We have a video, go watch it, about castings, like our favorite castings recently. That's one we didn't mention, but that is an honorable mention for sure.
Hell yeah. He doesn't hit my top 5 quite because there's just so many bangers, but dude, he's in the top 10, man.
And it's because he changed the way that character will be represented forever. In Marvel Rivals, he looks like Sebastian Stan's character forever.
And actually, after this movie, bro, Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson has moved as a top tier casting choice for this character.
He grew into that character so well. It's insane.
Beautifully, dude. Exactly as like Falcon grows into Captain America. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
Art imitates life, you know?
Bro. And then people can tell me that this wasn't a good movie. 51%. Like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, that's so wrong. Like, that's so wrong, man.
Like, again, like, having Red Hulk his reveal be ruined sucked, but that doesn't make him not
He was
That's
awesome.
one of the better parts of the movie, barring the Marvel problem of keeping all the juice to the end of the movie and having him in the last 15.
Boy, do I agree with that.
Which was one of the things I was worried about.
But there's something to be said with, lately, there's been a narrative of bad CGI in superhero movies specifically. And there was no bad. What was the bit? Where was the negative on the Hulk CGIs? Like,
it was the best
beautiful.
we've seen, I think, so far.
It was
my opinion.
Awesome.
It was the best Hulk we've seen so far.
Dude, he looked so good. Like all his scenes were dope as fuck. Him smashing through the like White House. All of Sam's CGI, there's no issues. Like, so then I'm like, where is this review bomb coming from, bro?
I don't get it.
Just, like, you know, it hurts me, man.
There's
really
a
does.
couple little small details that were really cool too, like the Black Widow security detail on the president's. Like, she's like the head of the president's security detail.
Because of course that would be a thing.
There's going to be a bunch of widows, ex-widows that need work and have one skill set.
And of course they would. Yeah, dude, that shit was really cool to me. And like, of course, a president would be like, "That's smart. I'd want a Black Widow next to me at all times if I was anyone, honestly, who was important, let alone the president of the United States." So that was a cool.
Another really small detail. Well, the kind of small detail was just like how the method in which the leader got Ross to turn into Hulk, slowly
I thought that was dope too,
while keeping him alive, because
dude, I saw some people griping and fucking complaining about that shit, and there's not how it happens in the comics. Dude, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because for me it was cool because
conceptually
it showed the leader's motivation really well, in that if he wanted Ross to die, he could have just not made the medicine and let him die. But he didn't want him to die. He wanted to ruin him. He wanted him to live with his legacy being torn away from him.
One thing that Lucas the fan, would have liked them to do here was that I wish that he would have made Ross turn when he turns, that he turns permanently.
Hmm.
You know,
Because that's
because
just
that's
kind
a
of how it.
thing with the
Yeah.
Red Hulk. You know, that he can't turn back. You know, so I
Well,
really hope that they bring that into, because that would allow them. Because Harrison Ford,
82 years old.
knock on wood,
Yeah.
you know, like he's old. You know what I mean?
You
So
can't do
like,
that
not
forever.
only that, like, you know, he has the reality of life coming for him soon, but like he might not want to act for all that long. He might want to spend, you know, his last few years with his family and shit. So
Exactly.
like we would need to move on to him just being a permanently Red Hulk, so it could be a voice actor that takes over, that can sound like Harrison Ford, and we can keep this character going forward.
Yeah.
I think that's something that they should have established in this movie. That's just like me as Lucas the fan
I
would
also
have
think it
liked
was a
that.
missed opportunity.
Yeah,
Another missed opportunity was the lack of I could do this all day. Um,
I said that to move on our
yeah,
drive
that
home.
was. See, like there was a couple moments that made me think like that would have been a good spot for it. There was specifically two. Near the like halfway through when Sidewinder is fighting him,
Yep.
and he like knocks him down, and he's talking sauce,
Hold,
and he goes, "Wait, hang on,
hold.
I know what you're gonna get to." Let me, but I think him saying mockingly, "I could do this all day." Like you're a side villain would have been really good. Like you Sidewinder, you're nothing to me. Like
I
you
agree,
could never stop me. But
bro. That drop kick to the man's chest. Okay, Carl. The only thing I could think of in the moment was the Boondocks. Oh yeah, you was talking all that good shit a second ago. You done got
got
kicked in
kicked
your
in your
chest,
chest.
bro. The way he fucking blasts through that man's chest, dude, there's no way in the writers' room that wasn't what was on their mind. Dude. That was so good. Because Sidewinder's just sitting up there talking shit, dude. Just like, man, you ain't shit. You ain't Captain America. Oh,
Ugh.
oh yeah, bro.
That
That
was
was
so good.
beautiful. Not only just a dope ass scene, and just like, again, shows Sam's commitment to like, also that line he says where he's like, I don't need the shield. Like without the without my gear, I'm just a whole lot meaner. You know,
Hmm.
like I'm
Like I
gonna
just have
kick
to not hold back.
through your chest. Like you did this to yourself. I don't have my gear, now I have to kill you. Like,
Yeah, so I think in that
oh,
scene, it would have been really good to see him mockingly say it to him, especially right before kicking him in the chest, super rocket kicking him. Or I think it would have been a really heartfelt, really like impactful moment if he would have said it to Red Hulk to get him to change back.
I think that when, you know, when after that dope ass, by the way, where Red Hulk rips his wing off and he hits him with the one wing explosion, which,
Just
by
the
the way,
one.
that was one wing that did all that damage. Mark my words when I tell you that we're gonna see a two wing full explosion at some point, and it's gonna be mwah,
Yeah,
beautiful, because that was dope. It destroys that city block.
yeah,
Like that was awesome. I would really love to see that augmented into like his punches, maybe. You know, where like he can have like an augmented super serum.
yeah.
You know, where like he
Where
doesn't have
like
the serum, but
his
like
gauntlets, like his the kinetic energy from his wings can be transferred through his arms into
transferred.
his
Right?
gauntlet, and he
Yeah,
can
dude.
hit you with that energy.
That
That'd
like
be cool.
augmented super strength, I think would be so cool. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Also, speaking of the super strength, when he's fighting Red Hulk, I did audibly laugh out loud when he was like, "Fuck, he was full of shit."
he's like, I should have taken that serum. God, like, of course
That
he would
was
say that.
great.
He has the serum, son of a bitch. He's not
Yeah,
fucking.
and he's never fought a Hulk before. But
Yeah, son of a bitch.
I think it would have been really like I was saying before. I think it would have been really impactful if before that speech that he gives to get Hulk to Red Hulk to change back, if he
Yeah,
started that with when he stands up when he goes, God, I hope that not that keeps him down, and when it
yeah.
doesn't, he says when he starts walking up, he could say, I could do this all day, but I don't want to, and then goes into the speech, right? Like, does
That
that?
would have been dope. That definitely would have been dope, because I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think of the Sidewinder moment, but when
Mhm.
he like stands back up, when he sees him, he's like, "Oh, please tell me he's knocked out." And like Hulk stands back up, and then he stands back up. He kind of like goes back into like I'm gonna like, and he does it in multiple moments when he's fighting with Joaquin to get out of the leader's like prison cell, and they're like fighting through the like soldiers, and then he like turns the corner and there's more soldiers with Black Widow, and he thinks they're gonna fight. He kind of does the whole like all right, like I'm exhausted and I'm just a person, but like can't stop.
Yeah,
I
people are in
like
danger.
the mentality of I can do this all day. Like he's doing the I
Mm.
can do this all day thing. So like when he rises and he like sets again, I was waiting for the I can do this all day line, and that's actually a really good. I didn't think about it that he could be like because Sam solves his problems with words. Like that's what makes him such a good Captain America. Like Steve was fist. Like Sam
It,
is like mind. You know, like the
more
therapist in
cerebral.
him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He brought Red Hulk instantly to the cherry blossoms. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
he
getting in
knew
his mind.
exactly how to get him
You know what I
calm,
mean?
to try to calm him.
Exactly right. Knew that he can't win the
Mhm.
physical battle with the Hulk. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Needless
So
to
him
say,
being like,
though, there
I could do this all day, but I don't want to, would have been like
would have been great. Yeah.
such a Sam thing to do.
Yeah,
Like,
truly.
ah,
Mm.
that would have
Now,
been good
though, now that we haven't seen it yet, now I was thinking, now I wanna see it if he's fighting
in
a
the
Captain
future.
America
Yeah,
in Secret Wars, like a version of
that
Captain
would be
America,
interesting.
where
Yeah.
he says, "I can do this all day," and, like, kinda, like, recreate the scene in, I believe it was, Endgame when
Oh, where
Cap
Cap's
is
fighting
bringing the
Cap. Yeah,
stone
yeah,
Cap's
yeah,
fighting Cap, he's like, "I do this," I know, I know."
yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd be great. I just want to like if they were saving it. I hope they were just saving the moment. You know that there's
Mhm.
going to be a great like Sam like I can do this all day moment, and they're just saving that.
Yeah.
Another moment that I hope that they were saving actually before we end this because we've been going long.
I was gonna say, we could do this all day, so
I hope that you guys have been entertained, by the way, because like this movie to us was fantastic. You know, we talked about the negatives, but like I said, we got to glaze the positives, and there's
Mhm.
been so many. One to me that I hope that they're saving though was Red Hulk's fire.
Yeah.
They showed
More
it in like
heat
a little second where like that like flower petal like hits his chest and it like incinerates, you know, and they showed it with him sweating and stuff.
and
But
him
like
grabbing the flaming car and
car,
throwing it
right,
as if it
right,
doesn't
yeah,
matter, yeah.
yeah. I really would have liked that like hot buildup though in him to like come out. I hope that that's something they're waiting for as well, and we're gonna
Mhm.
see that in the future because that's like that's Red Hulk, baby.
Yeah,
Like,
agreed.
you know, uh,
Yeah, like you were saying, there's a lot of positives, a lot of negatives. I understand, this film was cut to shit. There was a lot of scenes that were really jarring because of the reshoots and rewrites. Overall, I would give it a pretty high rating. I would
yep,
say
dude,
it's like high 80s, which
yep.
is pretty high for us. Um,
Yeah,
I
like
think it's
we
worth
don't
it.
rank things a lot, and like we were saying, we want to kind of do like a genuine reviews thing, maybe. So, like as a prelude to that, Kyle and I, whenever we're ranking something, we never rank things at 10,
Yeah.
right? A 10 breaks the ranking system. So,
Mhm.
like, and like a good example is like from 8.8 is a smaller jump from 8.8 to 9.2 than 9.4 to 9.6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it gets
It gets
exponentially
exponentially harder.
harder to
Mhm.
reach a higher level, right? So with all that being said, I think I'd put this movie like 8.7, 8.8. Like I
Mhm.
had my complaints with it. I had my negatives with it. But dude, when I left the theater, it's been a while since, like where I was like hyped. I was satiated.
Mhm.
I wanted more, but like I felt like the
And
nerd
I
in
mean,
me
with
was
action
satisfied.
scene, like action, every action scene, barring none of them, was amazing, entertaining, fun to watch, unique fighting styles, like
Oh,
unique
so sick, dude.
solutions to issues. I don't know. Let us know what you guys thought about it in the
Yes.
comments below. We
Actually, real
really
quick,
hope
Kyle,
you
but
enjoyed
before
it.
we sign off, what was your favorite scene?
Oh,
Just out of curiosity. I
my
think my favorite scene, like at least that's just popping in my head right now, was when he's walking through the hallway and the doors open and like just the shield goes in the doors and just like knocks everyone out and he just like runs in there, catches the shield, just like full blast, like
yep.
knocks the fuck out of like six dudes in like 3 seconds as just a dude. Like that to me is Captain America.
He's
Like
doing Captain
that's
America shit without
why
the super soldier
without
serum.
the serum, dude, and it's so cool. Like I loved that scene.
That was a good one. Honestly, it's between, like, there's two that popped into my mind right away. We talked about it already. The Red Wing taking the shield.
Oh, dude.
That was just so surprising. I just didn't
Same,
expect
bro. That's
him.
so
Like,
creative, bro.
yeah, it just caught me off guard. That was like, oh, whoa, that is so cool. And another really small detail, like a really small scene in the same hallway fight where when he punches one dude and kicks another, and they're both
Mm,
against the edges.
yes.
Like what got
Yes.
me about that was how brutal it was. He really did. He meant it when he said he's more mean without his suit because he hits dude with the shield and crushes his larynx, and then kicks dude in the chest and collapses his rib cage.
He
Like,
like
those men were
smooshes both of them
dead.
against the
They're
wall.
dead.
Like, but yeah, crazy dope. And also, dude, while you were just talking, I can't believe I know we've gone long, but I can't believe we haven't mentioned Isaiah, bro.
Well, we
God,
talked a little bit
how
about the training,
powerful.
but the emotional scenes.
Dude, this movie wasn't very emotional, but I tell you, I cried, man, when he's in the prison and he's like, first they almost got me when they're like arresting him, and he's just looking like the look. What was that actor's name, man? I'm gonna look it up really quick.
Yeah, I was about to
Carl
say
Lumbly was his name.
flowers.
Dude, yeah, the look he gives Sam, dude, like it broke my heart. Like that scene was like a hard one to like keep my eyes
When
open to
he's like,
watch.
"Where am I? What's going on?"
Yeah, dude,
Like
and then
that
like
was
they're
so
like
well
the
done.
realization that they're taking him back to prison, dude. And
And
then
he's
when
like,
he tells
"No."
Sam at the like conversation where he's like, "I'm gonna like die in here, Sam. Like, don't come back." That got me, bro. That was so terrible. And also to say how fucking awesome Sam's priority throughout the whole movie, throughout all of this, was Isaiah. The way he comes into the like president's office after it all happens, where like they're like, "Hey, you don't have the clearance," and he's like, "Stop me, then." Like
Yeah.
he takes the thing off the dude's chest and is like, boop, like walks right into the president's thing.
The
Like
moment he gets there, the president's like, "Everyone out! I need to talk to this man."
this dude looks pissed. Like I love that because that not only showed like his level of dedication to Isaiah, but it showed his Captain America-ness. Like he's like, I have the clearance. I'm fucking Captain America. Like stop me if you're gonna
Yeah,
like stop me. You know,
yeah.
love that.
And
Uh,
the leader even like solidifies that when he puts Isaiah in danger, and he
mm,
says after he gets to the military place, he's like, there was an 88% chance that when Isaiah was put in danger that you would turn around, and you didn't. You surprised
that's
me.
I
Like,
didn't pick up on that. That's really cool. But yeah, dude.
yeah,
And then like at the end of the movie, like he's still in the cap gear. They're like, "Hey, you got to go to the hospital, bro." He's like, "Nope. What I have to do is get Isaiah out of prison." Like he doesn't like stop. He's right there and gets him out of prison. Like
yeah,
such I love that, bro. Like that again, Captain America. That's what it is to be Captain American. Like if you disagree with that, if you disagree with us, please talk to us in the comments. Please
please,
tell us
please,
what you disliked about his Captain America, what you disliked about Anthony Mackie's performance. If you talk to us in the comments, then we can like know what to curate our videos to. You know, we want to give you guys what you want to talk. Like we want to be what you guys want to listen to, right? So like if you talk to us in the comments, tell us your gripes, tell us the things you disagree with us about so that we can make more content about that, you know, and we can just grow this page. Which
yeah,
speaking of, please, 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 if you haven't already, go to Host4Hire podcast. That's host four with the number four, hire podcast on all socials, but mostly on YouTube. We are trying to hit that elusive 10K. It has been evading us, and we are greedy little goblins, and we want more.
yeah. We got a
So
taste, and
please
now
tell
we
your
want the whole
friends.
plate.
Yes. Tell your friends, tell your family if they're nerds, if they don't like this type of stuff, tell them so they can argue with us and we can get them into like this type of stuff. You know, that's the goal.
The whole point is elevating this content to make
Yes.
everyone have a better time when we go to the theaters, so that when we come out and do one of these, there aren't negatives to talk about.
Yeah.
That's the whole goal here. Help us
And
reach
and
that.
Rotten Tomatoes can't review bomb a good movie because, you know, like we have to find our way around that, people.
Yeah, we
Together.
gotta unite and be strong,
For real.
and apes together strong. All right. We do appreciate you guys stopping by and checking this one out. Check out our other videos, and
Yes,
we will
please.
see you with the next one.
Peace.